for I think I will be focusing on health inequality in general and possibly inequality in access to health care.
Yeah, so my secondary is PCC, like is in Warriors. Defined as natural on page 273. Defined as natural territorial.
Artificial just add back in.
They're often the results of diplomacy.
No, you're at it was all your water projects
And central
but national ones where's
Alright, I'm doing it. Sorry, I misread it for a second. Alright, anyways, technology refers to the application of scientific knowledge to practical aims of human life. It allows us to change and manipulate our environment, often for the common good. And so, in terms of going about iterations of technologies, you're going sort of sector by sector in different forms of technology, right? And so something that's, obviously the big ones is kind of information and communication technologies. That could be, text, social media, and then connecting that sort of to security, sort of the use of soft power with tech and sort of how you're able to either manipulate or gain data. Sorry. Technological advancements in politics.
When you have fun, you have fun. When you have to work, there's work.
I'm trying my best to work.
Spain's working on it by themselves. Italy's working on something different.
Okay, let's take a minute now. When you finish nothing, when you're ready, so put up
That's when you have power.
So,
Different
Come what happens
Technology has transformed the way.
So,
Alright, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Next question.
Okay, what's your, you're not even finished. What is the next question? Come on, go to continue.
So it's transformed the way individuals interact.
Yeah.
It's also transformed the way political actors interact, right? So a big part of the technological advances has given us new forms of power and influence on us.
you have to apply all four core systems, right?
Earlier, and there's also technological advancements in privacy and security, but also military means also weaponry advancements, technology. That sort of covers what my case study is looking at. So I'm trying to mesh both security and technology, and I think they're both codependent on each other. So I'm looking at, for example, the advancement of AI and military. And so that's an example of technology.
Just one?
Alright, the first question. Explain and describe the recent and relevant case study you're using to explain.
No, there's four.
You seem to explore I'm sorry. Let me reread that question. Explain and describe the recent and relevant case study you're using to explore the stake issue, wider context and nexus of deep relationship between your primary and secondary PCCs. Dakota, let's go this way one last time.
People have confidence in explain and describe the recent and relevant. So I already sort of touched on this, and so I'm looking at the use of artificial intelligence in the military, particularly the case I'm looking at is Palantir, and so the use of Palantir AI technology by the IDF to sort of indiscriminately kill Palestinian civilians in Gaza. And so I'm looking at, first of all, how this breaches the security of Palestinian people, but also how it can be argued from the standpoint of, for example, an Israeli, that it's a necessary step for their technology, right? And then calling back to the different iterations of security, that sort of brings into account the normative approach to security, and then the normative approach, and start in the specific.
People cars, especially in Mexico, is that like these cameras that could look into the as they start reaching people cars, people just stay control and stay
Approach and the instrumental approach, right? So, for example, from a point of view of an Israeli person, a member of the IDF, they would say that the instrumental approach is what's necessary. So, security being judged only by its results and not by moral factors, whereas the normative approach would take into account sort of someone who is questioning the methods of Israel enforcing its own security. And then in terms of the technological aspect, the development of artificial intelligence within the past decade, particularly the past 5 years, has been instrumental in also the advancement of military warfare. And Palantir particularly has been one of the biggest players, right? So it incorporates artificial intelligence and its drone military technology, but also it code works with other AI companies such as Oracle to store databases based on opinions. And so this also might breach the privacy security of individuals on the internet and on the web.
it's forcing migrants to take more dangerous.
Tony, do you need to read the questions again, or are you familiar with the questions? Did you understand the question? Or you want me to read the question? While you're looking into that, let's go to Skittermill.
So my case study would be looking at sort of like when it comes to inequality in borders. I would also be looking at gender inequality when in borders. And so recently, because of like many crises in Venezuela, a lot of people have had to flee Venezuela to neighboring countries like Colombia and Peru. And the women fleeing Venezuela to Colombia face a lot of discrimination and violence and just they're stigmatized and labeled as sex workers, though that's not true. And they also, because of those labels, they struggle to get legal protections from the government, and so they face a lot of further discrimination. They're there's a lot more gender-based violence, which is happening as a result of that.
The conflict doesn't have to be actual, going to war. No, you can have diplomatic
The legal protections of the
We should do it real quick.
connection back. Some people should use
Are you ready, or any more time?
Tony should be
Yeah, so my case study that
Yeah, at least talk to me. This is already which one was specific about borders?
the amount of time
Are you doing this
and so air contains harmful substances such as I guess like hard security, personal security, nitrogen oxide. Recently, so and of course this is all like between these negative effects of health between the two non-military regional factors such as aviation skills that's and construction is killed by you guys may know you're being distracted. You're being distracted. You're looking over there. I said hey guys several times, but I don't look over there.
That's your just Iron Fist?
Iron Fist.
Last non-comment.
For me, my case study would be maternal health care inequality in Sierra Leone. And my guiding question is, how does gender inequality influence access to adequate health care? So my old GPS concept within the complex unit would be violence, and I will use concepts like Johan Nelson's triangle violence, more particularly structural violence, to analyze my case.
Okay, so
Sorry, did you have a case study?
What's your case study?
Yeah, maternal health care inequality in Sierra Leone.
What
Well, I was researching about maternal mortality rates, and Sierra Leone has the highest maternal mortality rate in the world. So
What piqued your interest?
Well, I put it in,
What piqued your interest?
I was reading the gender equality part in Ms. Ray's